But before we continue, there are some things I would like to put in place now. So for the model, you could see that I would like to have everything on the item to be zeroed. Also, I would like to have my at the middle. I would like to have this the pivot point at the middle. So let's try Control A, all transform. Um, we have it at the middle here. Okay, yeah, let's have it at the middle here. So Shift S, selection to no, cursor to selected. Yeah, now we have it at the middle. So now we want to come here and say origin to 3D cursor. Yeah, this is what I want to achieve. Then Alt G to put it at the middle. Then Shift C to bring back your cursor to the middle. And then I'm going to, okay, let's rotate this 90 degrees. Then I'm going to move this up and have it sitting on this red line. Yeah, like this is okay. So now I will just go ahead and start adding the bones, the armature. So let's go and name this, create a collection for it, name it bone. I don't want it in all caps. Bone. First thing I will do now is just go ahead and start adding the mesh, the rig, armature. So what we have to add now to make the rig is armature. I'll add it here and then come to this bone viewport display. No, not here. Viewport display. You could leave it at octahedral if that's what you like. Let me show you in front. At octahedral, you could leave it here and try to do your modeling, but that's not what I want to achieve. That's not my favorite display. I prefer stick. But for the stick, you don't know where direction it's going and which direction it's coming from. So you could just enable the axis so that you know that, yeah, this is like the pivot point, this is the origin, and then it goes all the way up. And then you could enable the names if you want, but it's not really necessary right now because I'll just be having two bones. Then after that, I would like to have it centered in, that is here. So I come here and select this, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then Shift S, selection to cursor. Let's take it to the minus 90 degrees. Come back here to see if it's actually rotated. Okay, and then I will go ahead and stretch this out this way, out like this, bring this even out also. No, just this. G, I, Z. Okay, now we have this. So now what you want to do is start adding a vertex group to this mesh. But before we do that, let's add an armature. Then for the armature, we just go ahead and select this new bone that we created. Select the armature, and then I would like to also add names to the bones. So Control Tab to go straight to your pause mode. Select this. This will be my, since it's the first bone I added, let's just name this first joint. You can name it whatever you want, doesn't really matter. What matters is you know what you are working with. Then I come here, the second joint, name it second joint. A bit of a long name, but no problem. Second joint. Yeah. Now we can come back to object mode and select, come here to the vertex group, add two vertex groups. Now let's name this first joint the same way as we named the the bones. Make sure it's the same name as you named the joint. If not, you're going to have problem when you are about to make the rig. So make sure it's you have directly the same name that you've given to your bone is the same name you're having on the vertex group that you want to assign your bone to, because that's what we want to do with the vertex group. Okay, so now I have it like this. I have it saved. Let's go back here to the joint, and then let's have this on pause mode. Remember the shortcut is Control Tab, or you could just come here and do it if you're not so good with shortcut, if you're not very familiar with shortcuts. So now this is the time where I will start adding my bones. So come here, come back to object mode, come here and then select this, Alt A first to deselect everything, L to select a whole part of the mesh. Then I want to also include this in my selection, also this. Yep, I think I have it. And then come back to the vertex and let's name this first joint since it's going this direction. Assign it to the first joint, and then let's see, let's come here to the pause mode and see what we have. Select this. Yep, it's assigned already. So now you can see I'm having this motion. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve, and it's going to the right direction. So now you come back to this place. I want to also add the connect the bone to this part of the mesh. So come back to edit mode, and then Alt I to invert your selection, Control I to invert your selection, and let's go and assign it to the second joint. You see, I made a mistake on the naming convention. I named it second first. Wow, you really got to be careful. You really have to be careful on your naming convention. Oh wait, let's go back and see what happens if I should like go along with the mistake. You see now it's not even like assigned. That's because it couldn't find the name. So let's come back here to this edit mode. So it probably is not going to work if you don't name it the right way. Now let's come back here at sign. Okay, then let's go back to the pause mode and see. Yep, and now we have it working. It's working as I expected. You don't Control Tab, let me show you. You don't want the joint to go through all angles. You want it to maybe go through only the Y angle. So you can actually limit the rotation. Enable this. Let's go back to pause mode. Then this, I'm going to switch off all rotation except for the Y axis. Let's go to XYZ ruler. Not the Y axis. Let's try it here and see. So the Z axis, make this 0. So unlock the Z axis, make it 0. Let's see. So now when I R and move my joint, only the Z axis is rotated. it's rotated only along the z-axis. Then let's come back here again and lock everything except for the z-axis. Yeah, now we have it. It doesn't go through all direction of the rotation, and this is what we want. You can also go ahead and give it some limitation so that it doesn't like go all the way through like 360 degrees. So now we have to add constraint, bond constraint, and the bond constraint we will be adding is limit rotation, because the rotation is what we want to limit. Come here, make it, set it at local, then also here make sure it's local rotation. So now for this I want to add the rotation. I want to add a limit here. The limit should be 180, and then when I take it back, like here the limit should be, let me go ahead and up this. When I take it back, the limit should be like to this point, maybe 60. So I can try to see it, what we have here. When I take it here, that's about 180, right? Then I take it down a little bit, but let's change the Euler to XYZ Euler and see. Okay, so on XYZ Euler, the 180 is this type of rotation. So let's come here and make this also XYZ Euler so that it correlates with each other, the movement correlates with each other. So I will go ahead and enable this. So on the minimum, I want it to be minus 180, since that's what we have here. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, so when you can see that when it comes to this spot, it just quickly snaps back to its normal rotation, so which means it can't go further than 180. So on the max, 0, let's try 60. Let me see. So when it comes here, it snaps, it doesn't go any further. You can see here also, it doesn't go any further. So I think for this rotation it's okay. So let's go and deal with this guy. Let's see if we can have it with the same figures so that it doesn't rotate all 360. That's not how a hinge work. So let's also add a limit rotation constraint to it. Limit rotation, it's already at XYZ Euler. Then also here XYZ Euler, local space. Enable this. Let's see, this I think should be 180. Let's try. It's not working for some reason. Let's try minus 180. Let's give it the same rotation. Okay, when it comes to 80, it snaps, but it stops here. So let's try and make this 60 and see. It's also like snaps when it comes here. And now, okay, now the next thing I can do to make it look nicer is remove this, replace this whole bone with some other mesh. Let me go ahead and show you how to do that. Come here, select the cycle, give this a limit of, I don't know, 6 vertices. Okay, then add another cycle, also give this a limit of 6 vertices. So let's create a new collection for our circles. New collection, let's name this controller. Why is it always on caps? Controller. Right, so now I'll be using this two meshes to control these other bones. So let's go and name this first joint. For this part, the naming convention doesn't really matter. And then also this, let's name it second joint. Why do I always have my caps on? Second joint. What? Second joint. All right. So let's come to this. Control tab. Come to viewport display. So for this, I want it to be first joint. So first joint. Okay. Then for this, I want it to be second joint. Okay, now we have our controllers. We can come back to object, select both of these and change the direction. So and how you have to change, it has to be on edit mode if you really want to change the direction of this. So come here, okay, select this RX90, no, RY90, RZ90. So it's not going the direction I want. Let's see RX90. Yeah, then select one of these L. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and I'm getting confused now. So let's add colors to this to even add more differentiation. Okay, so which of this is the first bone? Come back here, first object mode. This is the first this is the second bone. Then A G Y, bring it here and select the other one. A G Y, bring it back. Come here. Okay, reduce the size, make it smaller. Yeah, I'm going to, let's see, UI, no, UI, you know what, let's bring this a little closer, UI. Okay, so yeah, now we have our controllers. Let's go ahead and switch this off. You don't need to be seeing it. Then come back here. Now this has become your bones. You know, if you come to edit mode, you see that it's actually the bone. Then come to pause mode. Let's try to move it using the controller. Yeah, we can actually move it using the controller. Thank you for watching my video. Hope to see you next time, some other time, while we read some other stuff. Goodbye.